Hi, hello, this is Anoop here. And in this video, what we are going to see is what is SCCM console, what all the details you can get it from SCCM. It's just a walkthrough video of SCCM console. So this is the post which I did before, many years before, and I think it is still applicable with the new console which we have. What is SCCM console and how this is different from the old console, MMC consoles, etc. That is what we have mentioned over here, right? It uses a different framework, system center framework, etc. Even if it is out of system center, SCCM is out of system center now. It is called MEM configuration manager, Microsoft Endpoint Manager, Configuration Manager. That's a mouthful of words. How to launch SCCM console, how to customize it. There are a lot of documentation about it. So we are not going to go through all those details, but let's get into the console walkthrough, right? If you are new to SCCM and if you are learning SCCM, how to kind of walk through the console, how to understand the places in the SCCM, what is it called, etc., etc. It is really important to understand those things because then only you can easily get into a place and you can easily complete the tasks if you know the parts of console and what is it called, etc. If you look at the documentation, it would be mentioning about those names and those parts of console, right? So this is the main thing I wanted to concentrate on as a first thing. Okay, so for example, what does ribbon? Okay, let's use a different color. What does ribbon? And this is called ribbon in SCCM, right? So this entire part is called ribbon. Okay, so you always need to remember whenever some documents say, oh, go to ribbon and click on add selected items. This is the one, right? And what does workspace? Workspace is this one. There are 4 workspaces and there are some additional workspace in the newest consoles, and there are some hidden workspaces also which is not listed, right? So hidden workspaces or workspace I'm not going to cover, but we have some blog posts about that as well. Okay, if you want to know, look into the description of the video to get more details about hidden workspace. But there is one more new workspace available over here that is called community workspace. But these are all from the starting. These 4 all from the starting. Community is the new one, which is not listed in this diagram or screenshot, but in the newest consoles, it's there. Okay. So first is assets and compliance, library, software library, monitoring, administration. As name suggests, administration is for the server infrastructure administration, infra components and global settings, etc. Right? For SCCM, that is what administration workspace is all about. And then monitoring is all about the monitoring of the infrastructure, monitoring of core SCCM components, monitoring of SCCM application deployments, reports, patching, dashboards, etc., etc. Right? That is monitoring workspace. Software library. Software library is something of the software part of it. So when I say software, it contains application, packages, patching, Windows servicing, scripts, everything. If you want to deploy application, if you want to deploy package, if you want to use OSD, task sequence, if you want to use PowerShell script, and if you want to deploy PowerShell script, if you want to upgrade from one version of Windows 10 to other version or to Windows 11, Windows servicing is the place. And then if you want to upgrade or manage Microsoft Edge browser, that is the place. This is the place to go. Software library is the place to go. Okay. And assets and complaints. Assets and complaints is nothing but a group of collections, right? User collection, device collection, complaints policies, configuration policies, all those fun stuff are available in assets and complaints, as name suggests. Okay, so that's workspace. Now this is navigation pane, right? In the navigation pane, you would be able to see for each workspace there would be a different navigation pane, right? I know I can't pronounce pane correctly. I don't know how to pronounce it. So, anyways, bear with me. Navigation pane. This is the navigation pane for assets and complaints. You can see users, devices, user collection, device collection, and all these endpoint protection policies similar to BitLocker policy, complaints policies, defender policies. All those are available here under endpoint protection. Okay, and complaints policies where you will get the configuration items, etc., etc. If you don't know about all these things which I'm talking about, BitLocker policy, compliance policy, don't worry. I will provide the links in the description of the video. And if you go to the console, you will easily come to know what to do and how to do, etc. Right. So this video is just to give you a walkthrough of SCCM console, not going into the details of each components. Okay. So over here on the right side, you can see a search box. That is important, right? To understand what a search in SCCM terms. It is not a global search. This search is particularly for this particular node. Okay. So if you are using search, then this is only for users over here. Okay. So let me remove all these things. So we were talking. I just removed all the drawings which I did. Right, it was a bit rough. So I thought let me explain search over here. Search is this one, and we need to understand what is exactly search. And the search is applicable only for this particular node users. Okay, so this is not a global search for the entire workspace. Okay, this is only for this particular node, and in the newest consoles it has the search has more capability within the node. Again, it didn't become a global search. Okay, so search is the one, and then over here you would be able to see something called list view. List view is a list of things within this particular node. Over here users is the node, and you can see the list view of users over here. Okay, it will list all the objects available under this particular node, and it will you would be able to see some details of those resources, something like domain, resource type, etc., name of the resource. Okay, and you can add additional columns, etc. And this is detailed pane. So again, if you click on one of the objects over here, I have clicked on this object, and that is why it shows the details of that particular object. And that is why it is named as details pane. Okay. And over here also you would be able to see some other different configuration summary. By default it is giving us the summary, and if you want to check the client settings, etc., you would be able to see that also. Okay, we'll come to this portion of the console in a bit. Okay, let's go down, and over here in this post I'm explaining all the workspaces, what is workspace and definition of it and how this is working, etc., etc. Okay, ribbon, result pane, list view, right? All these things are over here. Result pane. Let me go through some of those. This is the results pane. And if you go to assets and complaints, and click on overview, you would be able to see this results pane. This is called results pane because it gives the navigation index for all the resources within this particular workspace, assets and complaints workspace. Okay. And then if you go down, you would be able to see all these things. So this is the workspace again, and then this is the navigation pane, and this is the result pane. If you go down, this is again same thing for the monitoring. You would be able to see all these things, co-management, all the other details which I put across. Okay. So these are the basic things which you want to know about console. Now let's go through the live demo of the console and see how the console is at the moment. Okay. Let me. Okay, so this is a console, and as you can see, only 4 workspaces now. But if I kind of adjust this, you would be able to see one new workspace, that is community. Community workspace is basically documentation and a community hub. Over here, you would be able to see the community or Microsoft shared scripts, tools, etc., etc. Right? You would be able to download this from the community hub, and it will automatically, once you download, it will automatically appear in console. For example, if you download a script, it will appear in software library scripts node. So that is what we call community hub. Community hub is, you can also contribute to the community hub. You can upload your scripts, etc., to the community hub. If you want to help the community, please do that. Okay. Then that is community hub, and the entire SCCM or configuration manager documentation is available here. Directly you can access from here. Okay. Now let's go to administration. As I mentioned, administration is basically for all the global settings and the infrastructure setup, etc. If you want to set up a additional child primary server or secondary server or a distribution point, new distribution point, or a new component, then you need to go over here. And in the administration pane, in administration workspace, you would be able to see different navigation panes. Over here, this is the navigation pane as we discussed before, and in the navigation pane, you would be able to see different nodes. Okay, so this is the result pane as I mentioned before, and this is updates and servicing is basically where the in console update will come. Right? For example, this is the latest version of SCCM 2207, and you can see, okay, this is installed, and this is the version, client version details, etc., etc. And over here, you would be able to see details of it. That is why it is called detail pane, right? What is the KB, what is the link, etc. All those details are available here. And if you go to features of tab over here, you would be able to see what are the features available under this particular update. So for example, if new update comes in, then it will show up here as a new item in the list, right? List view. So it would be something like configuration manager 2302 or 2301 or whatever it may be, right? From here, you can right click and install the updates. That is the thing for updates and servicing. Hierarchy configurations over here, you would be able to see discovery methods, boundaries, boundary groups, all those fun stuff, right? These are the main things which normally use whenever we set up new SCCM environment, right? So this is kind of a set and forget kind of a thing. Okay, this is normally not a day-to-day operation kind of stuff. I'm going to go through this very quickly. If you don't know what is discovery, boundaries, etc., there are a lot of resources available within HDMD community. Feel free to look into it. Cloud services. This is the new tab or node which got introduced a couple of years back, or more than that actually. So cloud attach. It was initially co-management. Now it is cloud attach. It includes co-management configuration as well as the tenant attach features. Now it is called cloud attach. Okay. Azure services. What are the Azure services connections which you are using? Discovery methods, Azure AD discovery methods, and CMG, cloud management gateway, etc. All these details are available here. And the site configuration is important. Site configuration is where you can see all your SCCM server infrastructure and components. So these are the two servers I have: main SCCM server, site servers, I would say, primary server and the secondary server. And over here down, you would be able to see the details of the primary server, nodes, etc., and maintenance tasks for the primary server and secondary server. All those details you can see over here. And then in the ribbon menu, you can see everything is whenever I click on something, it will change, right? The options will get changed dynamically. Okay, so ribbon menu, you need to notice that also. Okay, so site system servers. If you don't know the difference between site servers and site system servers, what is the difference? So this is site system servers. You can see there are some more servers added because these are some of the remote DPs. This is remote DP, and this is the SQL server, etc. These are remote servers where we are hosting some additional components, such as distribution point. Okay, and this is the client setting, global client setting. This is the default client setting, how the client should look for the policies, how the client will behave, etc. Depends on this. Pull for the policy interval. All these details are here. And this is the default one. And there are custom client setting policies you can define. And again, the menu is changed over here. And in the security, you will configure all the administrative users, etc., right? If you want to add new members, then or new RBAC role-based administration role, you can add this over here in the security roles, etc. Create or import roles, you can do that. And scope, defining the scope can be also done from here. And the accounts, you would be able to see which are the accounts available here. So that is all about administration. And in administration, there are a lot of other components which I have not covered. Just to give you a glimpse, there's this one. If you go to settings, you would be able to see many settings over here. And if you go to software update point, for example, so you would be able to see products, sync schedule, products, which products you want to use for patching. For example, I would say if I say Windows 11, can search for it. Windows 11 details will come over here, and all those details are available here. WSUS cleanup task, all those things are here. So there are a lot of things. Hierarchy settings. In the hierarchy settings, this is also global setting where you will configure all the authentication detail, client upgrade details, and all the diagnostics data, how you want to send the data to Microsoft, etc., client approval. All those details are available here in the hierarchy settings. And if you go to secondary servers, the hierarchy settings would be different. You need to take care of understand those things. And there are client installation settings, client push settings are also available. Security we have covered. Migration is for migrating from other SCCM hierarchy to this one. You can create migration roles, etc. And management insights are also important. This is where it is kind of a proactive monitoring task for SCCM infrastructure and SCCM component. Right. It will give you details of the collections, application, software center, how you are configuring it, how your environment look likes. Do you have some action items? What is Microsoft recommendation? How do you tackle it? How to make your infrastructure in a better way? Right. All these things you will get over here in the insights, all insights, management insights. Okay, now let's go to monitoring. Monitoring is the place where you can see where all the monitoring related tasks and reports, etc., etc. This is for all the workloads within SCCM. As you can see, you can set up alerts, configurations, etc., and you can see queries over here. These are WQL queries, default queries, and you can customize some of the queries. Okay, this is the reporting node. There are hundreds of default reports available in SCCM, very useful reports. So you can see what are those reports from here. And site hierarchy, how the site look likes. You have a primary server, you have a secondary server, and you can look into site hierarchy over here. And sites systems status, that is the monitoring node where you can see, okay, whether the site status is wrong somewhere, whether the component status is something wrong with components. So as you can see over here, hierarchy manager shows red. You can look into it by right clicking and show the messages, error messages or something like that. So that is useful for daily tasks, daily admin tasks, etc. And then if you come to deployments, in the deployments, you would be able to see the status of your deployment, 7-zip deployment, application deployment, phase deployment status. You can see over here client operation status. You would be able to see over here 2 offline clients and 4 successful CMP wet run, etc. All those details are here. Script status is available here, and client status is available here. So all these monitoring tasks are available here. Replication, if you have a replication between primary server and secondary server, you would be able to see that over here. And software update, sync, patching, sync, what is the catalog version, all those details are also available. Co-management details, if you are using co-management, what does the dashboard shows, and all those details are here, right? And this is very useful. And collection evaluation, all those components details, how the collection evaluation is performing in your environment, all those details are available in the monitoring. Then if I go to software library, this is the place where you will see everything related to the application and software, etc., as name suggests. Scripts, PowerShell script, you can deploy the PowerShell scripts, and you can see all those operations over here. You can create a PowerShell script, you can approve a PowerShell script, you can run a PowerShell script. Not run is from assets and complaints. You'll see that in a bit. And Office 365 or Microsoft 365 application management, you can install applications, Microsoft 365 applications, and you can manage it. You can check the version of your overall estate. All those details are available here. Microsoft Edge browser management, if you want to manage your MS Edge browser, you would be able to see over here. Okay, and you can create client packages for that and update packages for that, etc., etc. Right? It is a kind of automatically updated in scenarios. Okay, I'm going to skip desktop analytics because that is kind of not very important for now, but it is another cloud service. See, Windows servicing in the dashboard, you would be able to see what is the status of my Windows versioning within the lab environment. It is very colorful, right? H2, 21H2 is there, and 20H2 is there, right? So 22H2 is not there yet. So these are the things you need to kind of and you can do the in place upgrades from this place, from Windows 10 version to Windows 11, or Windows 11 21H2 to 22H2. All those things you can do this from here. Okay. And then you have operating system deployment, task sequence, and all the fun stuff, right? Boot image, all those fun stuff. Okay, driver packages, driver management, and then you have the software updates, all the software updates, all the details about patching. Patching is over here, and even third-party patching, right? The Dell, all these are red now because the probably the trust failed and certificate failed. Every time I need to come and enable the certificates or approve the certificates. It is a bit painful process, but I have covered that in the blog. That is all about software updates, patching. Now it is all about collection, application collection. You can see applications over here. You can see collections on sorry, packages over here. It's not collection. So applications, so you can create applications, deploy applications. You can use application group functionality. All the other fun features are available here for the application deployment. Okay, over here in this particular workspace. Now let's go to the last but not the least workspace node, and that is assets and complaints. In the assets and complaints, you would be able to see there are different nodes available here. And if I expand this, you would be able to see asset intelligence. Asset intelligence is basically for collecting the inventory and all the details. Some of the components are expired, but don't worry about that. But users, devices, all these nodes, all the discovered users will be available here in this node, and you would be able to see the details of the user, etc. Devices, same thing. You can see some devices are having different icons, online icons. Some are not online, some are kind of offline. See, this one is offline. I know it's difficult to see, but if you pause the video and check, you would be able to see the difference. Okay. So online nodes, inactive, active, okay, all those details also you can get it from here. Okay, and search, I already mentioned, search is not a global search, but search is only for this particular node. Okay, and you would be able to see user collection and device collection. Within the device collection, if you right click, you would be able to see different options like a run script option. If you want to run a PowerShell script which you created in the application node, you would be, or workspace, you would be able to see that over here when you run when you click on this. And CMP vet, you know what a CMP vet. If you don't know, please look into the HTMD documentation to get more details and videos. A lot of options over here. I'm not going to go through that. So right click options is also available. This is to make things easy for SCCM admins. Some of the right click options are available in the tab also, sorry, ribbon also. So if you can go to folders, and if you can go to these things, some of the options are available, but not all the options. And so that's device collection. Then assets, asset intelligence, I already talked about that. Complaint settings, configuration items, etc. All those things are over here. Baselines, etc. You can create over here. Orchestration groups, server patching related stuff, you can set this over here. And if you go down, you would be, this is important, where you can see defender policies, BitLocker policies, all those fun stuff related to the security are covered under endpoint protection. Okay, and I have added additional third-party extension also. That's why it shows over here. But this is not the official Microsoft node. This is from Recast, as you can see. Okay, so that is all about the console part, console navigation walkthrough. I want to show how to connect to the PowerShell. From this option, you can connect to the PowerShell, and you can change the theme if you want. For example, if you want to make it a light theme, then you can do that. I like the black theme, so the dark theme, so I am going to keep that. And if you want to check the console version, you would be able to see over here. This is the latest console version I have. So hope this was useful. Thank you all for watching, and see you next time. Bye bye.